Hello Nidori9s and Nidori9s, it is King Nido here and we're coming to you today from Fuchsia City where the Royal Gators are looking to end round 11 in an Elite 4 position, but to do so they're going to have to defeat the Dragon type Opelousad Emperors who are just trying to get themselves into a Leaders 8 position and keep their season alive. So let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Will it be the Poison types? Will it be the Dragon types? Let's send it down. But that is right, the Dragon types are trying to keep their season alive as they are currently sitting in 15th position in their side now with Cyclizar and Appletun. It'll be Muk in its Alolan form and Overqwil with that Intimidate ability starting out for the Fuchsia Royal Gators. So already the attack stats of Cyclizar and Appletun have been low, but Cyclizar immediately is going to go for the Poltergeist onto Muk, so it's going to be attacked by that Leopard Berry. And it does not do much damage, being not very effective. Overqwil looking to respond for its side and goes with the cut onto the Grass Dragon type, and it's followed up by the Magma Storm. Capitalizing on that Grass typing of Appletun, it is going to be trapped by that Swirling Magma, which will do continuous damage in between turns. But first, it is going to go with the Simple Beam onto Muk, so it's going to change that Power of Alchemy ability into the Simple ability, so its stats can go higher and lower, more so than usual. And here is Appletun feeling the effects of that Magma Storm as Cyclizar is going to go with the knockoff onto Overqwil, which again, not very effective, but it knocks off that Leopard Berry of the Poison Dark type, who responds with the Retaliate, trying to capitalize on that part normal type and gets a great hit on Cyclizar there, and Muk follows it up with the Fire Blast onto Appletun, who holds on, and it responds with the Hammer Arm, bringing that hammer down onto Muk. It's going to lower the speed, of Appletun in the process, but it's only got that base 30 speed, and it holds on still from the Magma Storm. It looks like it's going to have another turn left in it, but first the Spatial Rend from Cyclizar onto Overqwil, and a critical hit. Overqwil is eliminated from this matchup, and the Royal Gators have only lost one Pokemon per matchup for the last 2 games, so we'll see if the Opelousad Emperors can get a second elimination as the Soak onto Cyclizar changes it into a Water type. And Appletun with the double kick onto Muk here, getting that first strike. It's going to get the second one for that little bit of chip damage to the Poison Dark type. And there is Appletun feeling that Magma Storm for the last time as well. So it will be eliminated, immediately leveling the playing field between the Royal Gators and the Emperors. And out onto the field comes Muk. But this is the Cantonian Muk, so we have both of them on the field as the pseudo-legendary Dragonite comes out for the Opelousad Emperors. And that Draining Kiss will not be very effective on the Cantonian Muk, but Cyclizar will be able to restore a tiny bit of health. And we have the Pseudo-Legendary following it up with the Curse. It's going to cut into its speed here. It might actually be slower than the 2 Muks now, but it's going to boost that massive 134 base physical attack as well as boosting its defense. And we have the Cantonian Muk now going with the Double Edge onto Dragonite. There will be a little bit of recoil damage for Muk there. And now we have the Alolan Muk going with the Mega Kick. Looks like they are trying to get rid of this Pseudo-Legendary as Cyclizar with the Flame Wheel going for the Cantonian Muk, doing some more damage, and it responds, so the Muks are now quicker than Dragonite, but Cyclizar avoids that Crush Claw, and now we have a Alolan Muk going with the Incinerate. It's going to burn up the Leopard Berries of the 2 Dragon-type Pokemon, as well as doing a little bit of chip damage to both of them in the process. Don't see anybody going for their PP restoration with their Leopard Berries in this matchup, as the Water Spout from Dragonite gets the 2-for-1 special on the Muks, both of them taking damage, and a Perish Song now being performed by Cyclizar. Every Pokemon on the field will be eliminated in 3 turns after hearing that, and we get the Swift from the Cantonian Muk onto the Dragon types. Now, what the Pokemon need to do is get back to the bench before this Perish Song comes to 0 and eliminates them, as we have the defense and special defense of everyone on the field being switched. Night Slash from Dragonite, not very effective, onto the Alolan Muk here, as Cyclizar's Perish count will fall to 3, along with that of everyone else on the field. But as I said, if they can get back to the bench, they will avoid and end their Perish count from hitting 0, as we get the Roost from Cyclizar. It is going to restore some health, but it does know it will be eliminated shortly, as we get the Flip Turn from the Alolan Muk. It's not very effective on Cyclizar, but it is going back to the bench, so it will remain in this matchup. And out in its place comes Toxapex, the Poison Water type, and the Assurance now onto Dragonite from Muk. And with that Poison Touch ability, the Pseudo-Legendary is now poisoned. It will be feeling the effects of that. It may not even outlast this turn, but it responds with the Ice Punch, gets a great hit there onto Muk. But Dragonite does feel the effects of that poison, and it is eliminated from this matchup. So do not be confused, the Alolan Muck is still in this matchup. It did go back to the bench, whereas Dragonite is actually eliminated, and that perish count falls to 2 for both Cyclizar and the Cantonian Muck, and Altaria comes out for the Opelousas Draconids now, as the Reflect from Cyclizar is going to boost its side's physical defenses, and Altaria follows it up with the Pain Split, concentrating on Toxapex. I don't know why, but it will cut into a little bit of Altaria's health, and we get the ally switch from Muck. It's going to change places with Toxapex by doing so, and now Toxapex is going to go with the Facade onto Altaria. It doesn't do much damage, but Toxapex is much more of a defensive Pokemon, having that 152 base physical defense and 142 special defense. As we get the close combat on the Muck from Cyclizar, not very effective. Muck holds on, and Cyclizar does lower its defense and special defense here, but it does know at the end of this turn it will be eliminated. That Reflect from Altaria is going to fail. It's already got the Reflect set up on its side, and Muck now going with the Giga Impact, but Cyclizar is able to get out of the way of that attack, and Toxapex with the Fake Out, but unfortunately that is going to fail. And now those perish counts will fall to 0, so Cyclizar is eliminated. And with that being done, the Emperors have actually gotten 2 eliminations of the Royal Gators here, as Muck's perish count falls to 0 as well. We have Haxorus coming out for the Opelousas Emperors, as Alolan Muck comes back out onto the field for the Royal Gators, having avoided that perish song. And Haxorus immediately going with the speed swap, concentrating in on Toxapex here. Toxapex only has a 35 base speed, whereas Haxorus has 97. So Haxorus has heavily slowed itself down and is now on the receiving end of the lash out from that speedy Toxapex, who is going to be put to sleep with the Spore from Altaria. They do not want a speedy Toxapex running around this field. And we have Muck going with the Bleak Wind Storm onto Altaria and Haxorus, both of the Dragon types taking the damage at the same time. And Altaria's speed is lowered in the process as that Wonder Room wears off, and everybody's defense and special defense have reverted back to normal. Toxapex still asleep, and we get the Reflect type from Muck. It's going to copy that of Haxorus, so it is going to become a Soul Dragon type here. But both Poison type Pokemon are quicker on the field. That is amazing to see, as we get the Yawn from Altaria. So now they're trying to put Muck to sleep on the field as well. Haxorus is going to go with the Dark Pulse, going for Toxapex here, who tanks that hit, and it's woken up as well, and it is going to go with the Feather Dance, concentrating in on Altaria here, so it lowers its attack stat a great deal. Muck follows it up with the Flower Trick. This is always a critical hit going for Altaria. It's not very effective though. It is a part flying type. That critical hit though didn't really help it. And now the explosion from Altaria. And Altaria has taken itself out. It takes down Muck with it, but the Royal Gators are still 1 Pokemon ahead. There's only 2 Pokemon remaining for the Opelousas Emperors. And we get the Strength Sap from Haxorus, sapping that attack of Toxapex, lowering it even lower than that base 63, but Haxorus is going to restore itself back to full strength as that Reflect wears off for the Opelousas Emperors, and out comes Dragalge as the last Pokemon for the Opelousas Emperors. It will be Toxapex coming out for the future Royal Gators, so there is a Poison type on the side of the Opelousas Emperors, and it is on the receiving end of that Confide, so its special attack is lowered there by Toxapex, and the Parabolic Charge from Toxicroak, hits everybody on the field. It's actually super effective on its own teammate, but gets the critical hit on Dragalge, and Dragalge responds with the Water Pulse, going for Toxapex here, which is not very effective. It is a part water type, and Haxorus follows it up with the Infernal Parade, also going for Toxapex, who holds on, but it's left with the Burn. This Burn could actually take it out now. And it holds on. Toxapex is still in this matchup. This allows it to go for a Phantom Force, so it's going to vanish instantly. But that Burn is going to finish it off before it gets to finish it. And we get the Side Strike from Toxicroak onto Dragalge. It's super effective, capitalizing on that part Poison type, and Dragalge responds with the Swagger onto its fellow Poison type. This is going to boost that attack of Toxicroak, but it will leave it confused. And Toxicroak has 106 base attack. It is part Fighting type, remember. Very physical. Haxorus with the Mystical Power, but it goes for Toxapex, who is invisible at the moment, but it's hurt by that Burn, so it is still eliminated. It is out of this matchup, and out comes Sneasler, another Poison Fighting type, the last Pokemon for the future Royal Gators, who goes with the Pound onto Haxorus, and with that poison touch ability, we saw this take place here. Haxorus will be left poisoned. It will feel the effects of that in between turns. Toxicroak needs to shake off this confusion here, and it is able to as it goes with the Shadow Punch onto Haxorus. A fantastic connection there. And Dragalge responds for his own with the Razor Shell onto Toxicroak. Gets a good hit and lowers Toxicroak's defense in the process. Haxorus follows it up with the Icicle Crash, and Toxicroak is eliminated. The Opelousid Emperors have taken the lead. As there is only one Pokemon remaining for the future Royal Gators, Haxorus feels the effects of that poisoning, but they are in the lead. Sneasel, with the speed advantage though, is setting up for a Solar Beam. It begins to absorb Blight, but it doesn't go on the offensive yet. It will finish this off next turn as we get the Stomp from Dragalge onto Sneasel. Gets a great hit there, and Haxorus can follow it up here, but it sets up the Electric Terrain. It doesn't go on the offensive. And now fitting, because this is an electrifying battle here, as our electric current runs across the battlefield, but Haxorus should be eliminated now, but it's still in this matchup. That poisoning was not enough. It should have one more turn, but Sneasler is going to go for the Solar Beam onto Dragalge, and Dragalge tanks that hit. Not very effective, and it responds with the Icy Wind onto Sneasler. Sneasler taking more damage, but it has more health than everyone. Does have its speed lowered, however, and Haxorus sets up the Stealth Rocks. This is a completely irrelevant move. Bad play by Haxorus in these late stages of this matchup, and that poisoning will finally finish it off. So it is two poison type Pokemon left on the field. Dragalge on the Opelousid Emperors up against Sneasel. Sneasel still has the speed advantage. It goes with the Seismic Toss and gets the victory for the Fuchsia Royal Gators, and that is in fact the only Pokemon that the Fuchsia Royal Gators eliminated in this battle of attrition. All of the Opelousid Emperors were taken out by other conditions, and this will move the Royal Gators up into 4th place, as next round they will be taking on the Motorstoke Engines, whereas the Dragon types are in 15th place still, and next round they will be taking on the Saffron Powerlinks. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.